Stern.
And I thank the gentleman, Mr. Shimkus. Admiral Watson, recently, the press secretary for the president, Robert Gibbs, indicated, quote, "There's nothing that we think can and should be done that isn't being done." Nothing. He was pretty emphatic about that. And I guess the question for you is, in your present position, do you think absolutely everything is being done that possibly could be done to clean up this oil spill?
Sir, I was sent down there to do everything that could be done. My assignment was to be.
Oh, I understand your assignment,
and I really feel like I've done my duty. We have brought to
Have you done everything possible that could be done to clean this oil spill, in your best opinion?
From personally and from my perspective inside the organization, yes, sir.
Now, ABC ran a news story yesterday in which they interviewed a lot of the small fishermen. They said, "We have boats. We're ready to go out and skim off the oil to help out." Why aren't all those unemployed fishermen, why aren't you using a lot of their boats to help out?
Sir, I think we have over 500 fishing vessels. I think the number is closer to 600.
They showed
they are
boats after boats
involved
on ABC. The people were, and they interviewed these individuals.
Well, I just know that we've accepted vessels of opportunity from all the fishing vessel communities. We've given them the training, the equipment, and we've deployed them, and they are being used to recover.
Well, you heard Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Barton indicate that Governor Jindal has asked for approval to put these oil spill booms out and hasn't got it. He's also got partial approval for building the berms. Why wasn't that done earlier if you think everything's been done that has been done? Why haven't you given the approval for the governor on the oil spill booms?
Sir, on the berms, that is a tactic that hasn't been used before. We need to know.
No, let's take the first one. We'll have the booms. I mean, he's been asking that for some time.
Sir, there's 1.8 million feet of booms out. We've put booms down to the maximum level of effort possible. And there's
he's indicated in a press conference yesterday the federal government, he wants them to approve millions of feet of boom, and he's waiting for their approval. He hasn't got it. This is the governor. So you're saying you have approved everything, you're not going to approve any more?
We're still flowing booms in as fast as we can into the state of Louisiana.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you what the governor says. Now, it's also reported there's lots of countries that want to help out. They want to send their ships over here. They want to provide research, technical expertise, oil pumps, skimmers, wildlife treatment. All these countries are listed, and yet there doesn't appear to be, I mean, you've had Mexico, maybe one other country. Why haven't you accepted support from and help and assistance from all these other countries? I think there was 15 countries that were cited.
Yes, sir. I can't address each one of those, but we do have State Department in our organization, and we are using the presence of BP around the world to access those resources. We are flying Canadian aircraft. We're using boom from the Middle East, from Europe.
It was also reported that Holland has a ship and a mechanism to take up 80% of the oil by skimming it. Did you know about that?
We do have the Norwegian.
Have you contacted Holland to see what the process is they have in place?
We have a dedicated group of engineers that are working with proposals like that, sir. I can't speak to that.
Okay, but it's been 5 weeks. It seems like from day one, if you'd had boats out there to take off the skim and oil pumps and skimmers and this expertise, then it would have delayed hitting the shores of Louisiana. Don't you agree with that? That you should have had a day one, somebody out there doing that?
Sir, we responded on day one with everything that we had. This equipment takes time to flow in, and these novel things need to be evaluated further.
Day 21. Day 21, you did nothing. There was no skimmer boats out there. There was nothing being done. And I don't see any foreign countries out there that you've approved coming in. And, you know, the governor now has for 2 weeks been asking for you to give waivers. Why didn't you do it earlier for the oil spill booms?
We have a total of 1,500 vessels, sir. I'm not sure which ones you're referring to that we don't have working.
Well, I mean, the first couple of weeks you weren't skimming the oil at the site. You weren't trying to contain the oil. The oil was just. I was out there. I saw it. I was in a Coast Guard aircraft. It was flowing everywhere, and you could see it come up. It was emulsified orange. Everywhere you looked, you saw it, and there were nobody skimming it up. Nothing. And this was, you know, this is about 3 weeks ago. So for you to sit here and tell me, Admiral, that you've done everything possible and let this thing hit the Louisiana shore, you've got to take some culpability here. You've got to stand up and say, we could have done more. And you can't go along with the administration that keeps saying, oh, yeah, we've done everything possible, because it's clear you haven't.